Eagles. Eagles.
Another game and another W for your Philadelphia Eagles. They win on a crazy nail-biting finish. The final was 33-26 today after Jordan Davis returns the second blocked field goal of the day. Big Sills, as an Eagle fan, I felt every emotion possible with this one today, and it's only week 3, my friend. They win the football game and move to 3-0. Welcome into the postgame show, my friend.
Absolutely, man. And what you got to love about it is that they came from behind. Some of the things that people may have thought that you didn't think that they could do, they came back, they fought back. I think the Rams, again, some decision-making in the game that we can question with Sean McVay's play calling. But, boy, I'll tell you what, man, they fought back. And I got to tell you, 2 stars of the game, if you're giving game balls out, you're giving them to Jordan Davis and you're giving them to Jalen Hurts. I mean, A.J. Brown, you throw in that conversation, obviously. DeVonta that's one of the best DeVonta Smith games I've seen him play in a long time. Incredible effort by the team. You know what? The defense got gashed all day long, but they started making some plays. I mean, I thought the Rams
in the open. Unbelievable game. Let me see if I can get Sileo back in the postgame show right now here on is it me?
Yeah, it's you there, brother.
No, it's not me. Let's see if we can get Sileo back here in the postgame show. Guys, unbelievable finish here. 33-26. The Philadelphia Eagles win the game. I think I got Big Sills back. Big Sills, you with me?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's you. We're having internet issues here. They're attacking as we win the game. But Sills, that game really, Sills, had everything involved in it. And I had this ready to tweet out, all right, after the game. And I had to cancel it because they blocked the field goal. I had this ready to tweet out. Maybe people will think I'm crazy for this. I had this ready. I've never felt better after an Eagles loss. Post-game show now on JAKIB Sports. And the reason I was going to tweet that, Sills, if they did kick that field goal through the upright and the Eagles lost the game, is it took us going down big and having the first half we did. But welcome to the 2025 season, Philadelphia Eagles offense, right? That's what I felt like in the second half there. And you know, we obviously won the football game, but even if they didn't win that football game, you saw a lot of good things in that second half, or things that we can build on this season.
Absolutely. You know, as we alluded to, we said that, you know, one of the things that were question marks going into a game like this was if they got far behind, which they did, could they end up having comeback capabilities? They did. They fought their backside back. I mean, if you look down the line, let's face it here, that defense for the Eagles, they were a bend but don't break because they got really run over on the ground. I mean, the Rams had 160 yards rushing. They had 356 yards in total offense, and it wasn't really a great performance. But once again, the resilient Eagles come back, find a way to win. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith. It really wasn't Saquon Barkley. Now, he ran tough yards in that game, especially in the second half of the game. But you got to say it, man. I mean, they come back and what I think they did defensively, which was great today, Zander, was that they were 3 of 10 were the Rams on third down. They had to get them off the field, and they got them off the field, especially in the second half.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Sills. I know I'm having internet issues right now. I'm going to get it fixed here at the start here. But, Sills, let's talk about that first half and just the way they started off so slow, and the offense does rebound, answers back in the second half. You really got everything. I don't know if it took them getting to that point, Sills, to unlock the offense, but you see what this offense is capable of. This is why we come on these shows after games like last week and we say, I know we won, but there's more left to do. You can be better than this. And I think you see it when what happened in today's game. When you get your best players involved, you have good things happen on offense.
Absolutely. I said this too. This would be a validation game. That was one of the themes that we had throughout the entire week this past week, that this would be a validation. How would your secondary end up playing? How would your defensive front end up playing? I think they struggled in the first half setting the edge. I mean, I was impressed with what the Rams were able to do by running the football the way they did. So, again, man, I mean, they really did some really great stuff, and they came back in the second half. They fought their asses off, and I was really impressed with what they did. So, really I think, again, sideline adjustments, all the stuff that they were doing. They started getting the ball out wide. They started I think forcing the ball to those wide receivers, and it was the difference in the ball game, in my opinion. So once again, folks, hopefully we can get Zander back in here, but I got to tell you, man, there is no question about it that you wanted to know if they would have comeback capabilities. And they did. Jalen Hurts played his ass off in this football game. That was just another game out of the 3 games that they've played. The first game, I said I thought he played well. He played well today, mostly in the second half. Hey, and for this too, I have never in my life seen Jalen Hurts take more of a pounding in a game than what I saw with Jalen Hurts taking a pounding. The Rams were getting after his ass. Now, look, that has a lot to do with the offensive line and Lane Johnson going down. Absolutely need to know what the status will be of that. But I really thought those guys manned up in the second half of that football game, and they really did, man. They ran the ball in the second half when they had to. They had really good situational in-game stuff. And I got to tell you, man, there is no doubt about it. That's the kind of win there you reflect back on. And I don't know, man, moving forward, that's a heck of a victory. Now you got the Buccaneers coming up on the other side of this, and you guys showed up, and in the second half were able to get it done. Really some absolutely great stuff here. So, I mean, Zander, if you're the coaching staff, if you're the players, you have to be 1,000% excited about how you came back in this ball game.
100%. Sills, I said it. I mean, I was prepared, and I know people aren't going to like this. I was prepared to lose the game today and feel good about what you built. You don't win Super Bowls in September, regardless of what you're able to do. And the fact that they showed what they're capable of on offense is going to lead to a better results this football season. And now they've really laid the stepping stone on, all right, this is where we need to be. Everybody saw it with their own 2 eyes. When you get A.J. Brown involved, when you get DeVonta Smith involved, when you get Dallas Goedert the ball involved, look at how good this football team is. We dominated the Rams team in the second half, Sills. Dominated them. We won the second half 26-7. That was the score of the second half. So this is why you got great players. This is why you got to get them involved in football games. And today, even with the W, even if we didn't get that great play at the end of the game and they punched it through the uprights, I would feel pretty good after a loss here. I'm not going to lie to you. And I wouldn't say that often. I mean, Eagle fan, we don't even feel good after wins sometimes, Sills. But that team showed what they're capable of. And that's the biggest thing you take away from this game, because now you're back in the, I said it a second ago. Well, welcome to the 2025 season, Eagles offense. That's the first game we've seen. Your
run game struggling.
It is. But
okay, it is struggling. Now it's due. Listen, is it going to be corrected? Yes. When you get guys back now, Lane Johnson's injury and his neck injury has got to be something that you have to monitor out of this. But the run game is suffering because of who? They're suffering because they're not healthy in the middle of that offensive line right now. I thought the Rams stuffed the run, man. The Eagles' 86 yards rushing was tough yards in this ball game.
Yeah, but
Hurts making plays, but dude, they got dominated up front.
No, you're right. But don't you agree with this? The running game, while it hasn't been crazy explosive yet this year, it looked better in the second half, didn't it? You saw Saquon have a couple, right? And you saw him have a couple 10-yard runs. Now there was nothing big and explosive, but the minute you start moving the ball in the air and you present that threat to a team like that, you're going to be able to start to run with Saquon Barkley again. I know it's a little bit of a catch-22, but you need both things clicking. You can't just rely entirely on Saquon Barkley, and I think that's what's really going to open it up for him. Sills, I think we can establish something. This team needs to be good passing the ball too. We cannot go through another year of not passing the ball like we did in that second half. Was a perfect look at what this team is capable of when they have everything clicking.
Like I said, though, Barkley, 18 carries, 46 yards, 2.6 a carry.
Yeah, nothing.
That's not getting it done, man.
No, it's not.
The guy in this ball game who got it done is Hurts.
Yeah.
Hurts, AJ, DeVonta. How about that one critical catch, that 33-yarder that Dallas Goedert got across the middle of the field, too, to go down there and get that touchdown? I thought that was a really good play call, actually. And let me just say this, Zander. I don't know if you'll ever have your defensive backs have to cover a player like Puka Nacua, but holy shit, that guy can play.
That guy's
guy's
really
got
good.
hands, man. He can freaking play.
Yeah.
And I think they settled down a little bit more in the second half. You know what I couldn't get? I see people putting that in here. Why did they not put Fred Johnson in quicker? The quarterback was getting mauled in the first half. Pryor was getting annihilated.
Yeah, annihilated.
I mean,
I said that on the halftime show.
Was blowing him out.
I said exactly that on the halftime show. And then they went to Fred Johnson and they started moving the football again. So, that's a big factor. Sills, what do you think of the defense today? Or you just mentioned it. Early in the game, I thought the defense in the very first couple of drives, they looked good because they kept everything. They kept Stafford from looking deep. He couldn't complete many passes. Everything was very short, and they were stopping the run. So things were working out, and that kind of is Stafford's kryptonite. If you take away all his receivers, he's not a check down Charlie type of guy. He wants to throw the football. So, and then once I felt like the Eagles offense couldn't move the ball, Sills, that's when the Rams started to run the football because I think our defense got tired. Our defensive linemen were tired because I think they had 15 or 18 more snaps, somewhere in that range in the first half. Defensive line got tired. They started running the football, and the defense started looking like Swiss cheese. Second half rolls around, and our offense is going, boom, our defense is looking good again. It's complimentary football. That's why we always say that. But I do think that was a big factor for why the defense looked a little shoddy in the first half.
I think also the pass protection got better because remember something. After the first quarter, you had -2 yards passing. And
right.
there was something that was said on the sidelines there. By the way, one more time, Jalen Carter, will you please fucking grow up? Stop that stuff with that 15-yard taunting thing when you went back and the refs called it on you. They're going to target you. I thought it was egregious too. But Zander, know this. They're going to be looking at him, and there was the biggest example. It was a nothing call. That should never have been called.
Yep.
Please do us a favor and grow up. The defensive tackle who's playing the best tackle right now so far is Jordan Davis.
100%. Has he arrived, Sills?
I'll tell you what. Let's see a couple more games because if you remember back in 23 at the beginning of the year, he got off to a really good start too, and he kind of faded. I'm not saying he's going to fade. Okay, but what I'm saying is he's off to a nice start. Let's see how he finishes because he did pick up from, I'd say, about week 13 last year to where he is right now. I mean, right? Here we go.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, that by the way, that play at the end, what a play at the end. A second blocked field goal of the day. Jalen Carter had the first one, then got the taunting, as you were referring to there. But Jordan Davis makes the block, scoops it up, and the big boy runs it back for the touch. That was an exciting way to end a football game, wasn't it, Big Sills?
Absolutely, man, it was. And again, special teams. I mean, I really thought they had another good day. But for the punt return, Jesus Christ, the guy, can he catch it?
I know. Well, you know what he was doing, though, that kicker? So that's not the punter, but the kicker, he was doing knuckleballs. Cardi, his name is. He's like known for that. And I don't think the Eagles had much practice for that because they couldn't field a kick, dude. They kept going right through the one on Tank Bigsby just went right through his hands. It looked, so I don't know. That's definitely something to keep an eye on. Sills, I want to focus in on Jalen Hurts here for a little bit. All right. And you are somebody who has given Jalen his share of criticism. I don't think all wrongfully. I think maybe some, but everybody has their opinions, and you're certainly entitled to that. Jalen Hurts has a performance like that today. What does that make you think? Does that make you think he's more capable than we give him credit for? They just have to go to him. Do you think he's still inconsistent? What did you think of Jalen Hurts' performance today, who comes back in the second half, ends 21 of 32 for 226 and 3 touchdown passes in the second half?
Let's let everyone know we've been consistent about this year. I thought he played very well in the Dallas game. I said that. I thought he looked like 2022 Jalen Hurts. And he had the resiliency in this football game because he got out to a poor start. I thought the Rams really got out to a great start. By the way, the Rams have closed the gap. Now, is that because of injury? Probably. Okay, probably. But they were able to run the football, but to finish up with Jalen, look, man, he absolutely put the team on his back. The run game was nowhere. He had 40 yards rushing. He had 226 yards passing through the air. And he had those 3 TDs, as you said. I mean, without those yards and now the ability to be able to get out in the perimeter, I thought they did a great – by the way, I thought they did a great job, and I thought Jalen did a great job of forcing the ball to DeVonta Smith and also to A.J. Brown. Look at the yards. And you know what in my house we kept saying? I don't know if you saw it too, Zander, but the yards after catch. that A.J. Brown gets is fucking off the charts. He is amazing with that after the catch. They couldn't get him on the ground.
A.J. Brown was playing with anger today. Every time he caught a ball, he was determined to make the most of the yardage he was going to get on every single catch. It was honestly a joy to watch A.J. Brown out there today. So very good stuff for the Eagles offense. They really finally got it going. How about this, everybody? A.J. Brown had a second-half touchdown catch. DeVonta Smith had a second-half touchdown catch. And Dallas Goedert had a second-half touchdown catch. So all three of your big playmakers make a play in the second half, and the Eagles march back with a walk-off touchdown win from Jordan Davis. A lot to take from the game today. You saw a little bit of everything. You saw the first half and the way that went, and then they rebound back in the second half. So much to take of this game. Sills, who stuck out to you on defense outside of Jordan Davis, who I think has really arrived as a great player here, but still a lot of good play, I thought, on the defense side. Anybody stick out to you?
Not really. I think maybe Bond played well. Q got burned quite a few times out there today. And I also thought Reed Blankenship, holy cow, guy. You let them pick you apart back there. Now, it's settled down, Zander, in the middle of the third and into the fourth quarter. It's settled down to being, again, this was going to be a back-and-forth football game. You saw it. And then when the injury started happening and started acquiring on really both sides of the football, most notably with Lane, you started to see that. I got to tell you, too, man, kudos to Jeff Stoutland's guys. They went in, even with backups, and they were able to move the sticks and able to fight back in this ball game. Really, some really good stuff. The defense.
I think Landon is still a little bit of a problem.
He is a problem. And I think also, too, I don't think Camp played well. And this is a third straight week. Those two guys have not played well. So I'll go here. I think the Eagle defense the guy who played the best, again, is Davis. If you had to put a game ball for the top player, it was Jordan Davis. That play he made running down Stafford to stop that third down. It reminded me of that Josh Allen play that he made a couple years ago when he ran the guy down. But this time he had gas to finish. I really didn't think Jalen Carter played that hot.
Well, I thought he made a couple plays here and there, but I think he's still finding his rhythm. Yeah, he's still finding his rhythm. You can tell he's not fully, in his midseason form, which, he's got to get to. But ultimately, I do think you're right, about Jalen Carter. So, real quick, I want to say something about the offense. I know we're going back and forth here, but can we get the straitjacket off Jalen Hurts and leave it off? Seriously, I'm so done with the approach that we had in the first half. Why? You don't have crappy receivers. We have a quarterback that's capable and shows it every time we ask him. We have the receivers that are more than capable, and you see what that offense can look like with what they did in the second half. Let me look at the total stats. They ended with 288 yards. They had 33 yards in the first half. So they had a 250-yard second half because they took the straitjacket off. Okay. Leave it off now, Kevin. Come on.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. You've got 3 straight games where the opponent had a chance to win the ball game, and you weren't able to put it away. Either you were behind or the other teams were allowed to stay in the ball game. I'm not saying the Rams are a team, dude, that's going to be there at the end of the year.
They're a good team.
The Chiefs are not.
They got their problem.
They still may be because of Mahomes. Dallas, I have my thoughts. So what do you make of how the football team has played in the 3 games so far? What do you make of it?
Well, I think honestly there's things to build on in each game. If you take this game in the first half, you're looking at we need sweeping changes to the team and to the approach because this is not going to get us back to the Super Bowl or really even make us a contender. Then they come out in the second half. This is why I just said this about the straitjacket. And look at how the team works. The defense is playing better. Saquon starts getting some 10-yard runs. The offense has everybody involved. Jalen Hurts is playing with some swagger and some confidence. That's what this team is capable of. This team is capable of 26-point halves easily. They got to let it loose and let it go. Now, to your point.
Are you aiming that at Patullo?
I'm aiming that at the entire philosophy of the team where I think they've all fallen in love with, not everybody, but I think Jalen, to his credit, really only cares about winning. So when they were winning, he's like, I don't feel the need to change anything. And I think that's okay. But you have Nick.
You played a half of football today. Let's be candid. You played a half of football. You got your ass kicked in the first half. It was never close.
4 for 8 in the first half.
Who?
Hurts.
I mean, you played a half of football.
4 for 8 was 17 yards in the first
Let's
half. I'm not saying you're wrong.
50 minutes of football was played here.
I know, but the difference in what they did in the first half and the second half was night and day.
Right. I got it. So is it Patullo? I'll ask you again.
Well, I think to some extent it is. You get by. Wait, why do you get behind 21 points and you start throwing the ball and things start looking good?
Right. Okay.
Why does it take you going down 21 to get your offense involved?
Because when they had to play from behind, they had to force the football to their wideouts. And when they forced their football to their wideouts, they were, you know what John says? They're going to do it until they're forced into it. Isn't that what happened? Isn't that what happened? They got forced into it. It is
what happened today. 100% what's happened today.
Okay, well, they got forced into that style, and they were able to come back and win. Like you said, that's something to build on.
Right, but why don't they stick with that philosophy when they're not down?
Because remember I said to you, they're fighting for their identity right now. They don't know.
I think they found a large part of it today. I think they found a large part of it today.
Will they be consistent and go to it and stay to it like they did a year ago?
I hope so.
Last year, they went to it and stayed with it. Will they this year?
Well, I think there's two extremes. There's the teams that throw it 50 times a game, and then there's what the Eagles were doing where they've dumbed it down to they don't want to turn the ball over at all. They got to find the middle area. That's where I think you want to be. And I think the second half, they were obviously more to the end of passing because they were down in the football game. But you have to have a prolific passing attack. It shouldn't take you being down in a football game to get A.J. Brown involved in the game.
Well, I agreed 100%. Well, Barkley looks like New York Giants Barkley right now.
Yeah, the pass blocking is not great, but I mean, look,
he missed that block and almost got his quarterback annihilated.
I'm not worried about Barkley. I think Barkley will find his way.
He almost killed his quarterback today with missing that block on the hit where he had that. Your quarterback took a clean hit from Verse.
Yeah,
almost killed him.
I saw it. There was a couple big hits today. On Jalen Hurts. I mean, he got leveled in the first half, and I tweeted out that because there was also a play versus the Chiefs last week where he got destroyed. I'm like, I can't remember in the last 3 years Jalen Hurts getting leveled.
I've never seen him hit like this.
And now I'm seeing him getting wrecked. So, I mean, look, that offensive line definitely has to clean a couple things up. He's
playing tough. He's playing tough.
No, he is. He's definitely playing tough, no doubt about it. But still a lot of great takeaways from today's game. You really saw a little bit of everything. The Eagles win the game 33-26. I'll rattle off some stats for the great people. Total yards in the game. Rams out-yarded us 357 to 288. A lot of our yards came in that second half. Passing yards are 202 net. Jalen Hurts was 226 through the air. Rushing yards 86, so Jalen Hurts contributed 40 there. Good stuff all around. Jalen Hurts was 21 of 32. 226 and 3 touchdowns. As Sileo mentioned, Saquon Barkley, 18 carries for 46 yards, good for 2.6 average. A.J. Brown, 6 receptions for 109. How about that, Sileo? A.J. Brown, 6 receptions for 109. DeVonta Smith, good game as well, 8 receptions for 60 yards.
I thought DeVonta's were tough catches, man.
Tough catches. Yep. Tough, grinded out catches. They were that was good stuff from DeVonta Smith today. Are
you telling me, Zander, that if you look at the team number here, that the Philadelphia Eagles, once again, as a rushing team in this game had 86 yards rushing, and if you take the 40 yards away of the quarterback running, you had 46 yards in this game rushing? I mean, I don't know, bro. That ain't that run. That's not that running attack of a year ago. I promise you that.
Look, it was a different.
Now, what is it? 8, 9? It's 12 quarters now.
But think about it. We had a different approach in the game today because we were down for a majority of the game until the end. You know what I mean? So, you're running, but now to your point, 18 carries for 46 yards is still 18 carries for 46 yards. It's not really a prolific attack, but I think look, I'm not worried about Saquon Barkley. I'm not. I hear you. I think there's some things he's got to clean up, but at the end of the day, I think he's going to find his rhythm. If this passing game is able to build on what they did in the second half, believe me, things are going to open up for Saquon Barkley.
Like I said, I agree with you 100%, but you played 2 quarters of football in the second half. You were annihilated in the first half. You did the things that you're capable of doing and living up to your expectations. You did it for 30 minutes, and you did it enough to come back against, I think, one of the top 4 teams in the NFC. This is not the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs, because of Mahomes, as I said, I think they're going to be right there, Zander. I do. The Cowboys, I'm not sure what they are. That team is going to be in a lot of places. They got a lot of good football players. I'll tell you one thing they did do. I mean, it's injury involved also with Philly, but you ain't running for 200 yards on that team right now. They've fixed that hole right now a little bit because they held you under 90 yards in this ball game.
Well, that's a good D line. That's a good D line. They do look as advertised. They're good, but I mean, look, the Eagles were able to get their way in the second half to the tune of 26 points. So they made it happen.
Sure.
Yeah, through the air, 100%. As you said, let's get to a couple super chats. Got to go to the big ones first. Jeremy, what's up, brother? Appreciate your super chat. $50 banger today. Jordan Effin Davis, baby, won me 3 G's. That's why he sends 50. He must have had a big bet on the game or something.
3.5. That's right, because the 3.5 got flipped upside down when he took that thing back. So when he scored, people were going like this. If you took the Rams in the 3.5, you won the ball game. But when he took it back, people who were taking the over, I didn't even think about that. The points, they end up
there's bettors all over the place that are miserable about that final play. I love it.
Oh, my God. Vegas is screaming at Jordan Davis right now.
Let's go. Here's Brian Pumper. Brian, we got to have a conversation, Mr. Pumper. He says, man of my word, kiss my ass. So Pumper was in here. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of you guys in this chat who were in at the halftime show. You were ready to ship Jalen Hurts. You were ready to fire Bobo Patullo. I told you guys, let's be a little patient here on the second half. Good stuff, Pump. Appreciate it, brother. Here's T-Bone. T-Bone, what's up, man? A win is a win is a win. I love it. Ugly as may be. For all the Hurts haters, you can now shut the F up. Don't want to hear it. Shut your pie holes. At times, the run game will look good. Sometimes bad. Same as the passing game. Whatever the case, Birds are getting it done. Again, we won 3-0. Dude, this team really is a habit of winning those.
How do you think they played? Give it a grade. Is that the best they can play?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, the first half was pitiful. Okay. It was one of the first halves of football, one of the worst halves of football I've seen in a long time.
What would you give a grade? What would you give a grade for that?
B plus.
B plus.
B plus. I curved it to a plus because of the ability to keep coming for all 4 quarters. Jalen Hurts, as relentless, we've talked about how relentless he is. He never stops coming. And I thought the whole team embodied that today, all the way to the final play when they were, I don't know what it was, a 40-yard field goal, 38 yards, somewhere in that range, and they make the play at the end. So I curve it to a B plus because of the ability to grind it all the way to the finish line, get the win, and respond to the ugly first half that they had on both sides of the ball. I mean, the Rams had what? 19 first half points, I think it was 19-7 at halftime. Yeah, so I thought both sides answered the bell and came back.
And then they came out and scored immediately on them and went up 26
yep,
or something.
That's right, off the turnover. Jalen Hurts fumbled on that big sack blown by Matt Pryor. Pryor got benched after that play. What would you give him a grade?
I'd give him a B. I'd be in there. I'd give him a B for what I'd give him the B for the resiliency. But again, they played 2 quarters of football, and I'm with you on it, though. When you fight back like that and you fight from behind and you're down big and you come back and win against a good football team like that and a really good quarterback and a really good coach and some really good coaches on that defensive side of the football, I got to tell you, man, I was a really entertaining ball game, too. A lot of ebb and flows. I mean, it was at times a little sloppy, but had a lot of theater in it, too. I mean, to the very end there, I mean, the Rams – they kick it through the uprights, they win. But, ifs, this and that, ifs don't count in NFL football.
Yep, exactly.
There's it's win, loss, or tie, bro. There ain't no win, loss, or tie or IF.
So in your opinion,
any category.
In your opinion, how much have they built on what they've done in the first 2 weeks in today's game? Or are you still in September and I don't know what you are yet?
Okay. I don't think they really know what they are yet. I don't. I think, look, tale of 2 halves.
Right. How
in the world can anybody say there's an identity when you had tale of 2 halves?
We saw 2 different football teams.
You know what? You know what some people will say? They'll have their eagle green colored glasses on and go, hey, we can build off this here. I'll look at it and go like this. There was a tale of 2 halves in a 60-minute football game. You had an F in the first half, and you probably had an A in the second half. Right? I mean, if you want to go candid there with it, you stopped. You got 3 and outs when you needed it. You did some things in scoring. You opened up the passing game a little more. I mean, right?
Yeah, no,
it was a tale of 2 halves.
I agree. I agree. Interesting stuff.
Somebody say this about Kevin Patullo, dude.
Yeah, I want to get there.
Let me go here with him.
Go ahead.
Bro, he was all over the map today. He just was all over the map. I mean, it was the first half. I don't even know what he was thinking in some of these pass plays and what he was trying to do with the runs, the conservatism that they had in the game. I just really do think that what John said, they got forced into having to make plays.
Yeah, and I think
maybe Jalen showed him. He said, "This is what you should be doing the whole 60 minutes."
Right, but I think maybe this was necessary for a first-year play caller that inherited a Super Bowl offense that it probably is. There's probably a level of pressure you feel to not F it up, obviously. And I think he went too conservative, and I think maybe this showed him because his back was against the wall. Dude, trust your playmakers. Trust the guys you got on the field. Don't be afraid to call a little bit of an aggressive
AJ was great.
AJ was awesome today. Awesome today. Get that guy involved, man. You get him involved. We're a different football team. We are. Different football team.
He showed why he's a dominant player out there, man. You see him throw one guy off him, like had to get him on the ground. They couldn't get him on the ground. Like I said, his yards after catch are some of the best in the league, man. He is a really good football player, and he showed up. I thought he showed up big time. DeVonta had some tough-ass catches in this ball game. Dude, I mean, he runs such a great route. He was so good. And I really thought I liked the way DeVonta Smith played today. I really did.
Me too. He played hard. I mean, so if you remember on your show this week, we talked on the National Football Show 2 to 6 p.m. every weekday here on JAKIB Sports. We talked specifically about the passing game. And you remember the numbers I gave you? I said
they were putrid.
But I remember I told you though, I want AJ to get 80. I want DeVonta to get his 60, and I want Goddard to get his 50 or somewhere in that range. Well, look at what they did today. It's right in that ballpark, and you can see how prolific this offense is when they're able to do it.
Well, you've got superior talent, brother. I mean, you do. You have superior talent on the football team. They came back. They played great. I mean, now look, I'm going to say this. I think they played great for about a quarter and a half. All right? They played great for about a quarter and a half in this football game, and they were able to really – dude, the fight in that team, that's an A+. For them, it was an A+ for them to get back in this game.
What do you think?
That was a statement game for Jalen Hurts today.
I agree. What do you think of the kickoffs? Because we traded for John Mechie and we traded for Tank Bigsby, two guys who are back there returning kicks, and neither of them look like they can catch a kickoff. Now, I want to add something.
Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, right. There is something that kicker was doing he wasn't kicking regular balls out there. He was kicking. He's got this signature move that he does that people have been writing about in LA. He's mastered the knuckleball.
Huh.
So if you watch his kickoffs, you remember the one where Tank Bigsby
it's a tough catch.
And it just went right through his hands. They don't know how to handle it. And I don't think there's other people in the league who can replicate it. So there's no ability to practice for it. So I think that's why they were having such a problem. John was talking about it on the halftime show. I think that's why they were having such an issue, because they couldn't catch a kickoff today, Sills.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the case, I didn't know that. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I just read about it.
I'll tell you, that's good knowledge, man, because I had not heard that.
Yeah, so here it is. His second year in this league, he's become a master of the knuckleball. So all day long on kickoffs, he was sending knuckleballs, and the Eagles couldn't handle it. So that's what he was doing. That for anybody that was wondering why the heck we couldn't catch the kickoffs, that's why.
How do you think Quinyon Mitchell played today?
I think he's had his moments, but look, here's the other thing I got to preface this with.
Because I want to know if you think he's following up so far on his rookie year so far.
I think he's in the room. Here's what I'll say. All right. You're playing against Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. You know what I mean? Like sometimes
and Stafford.
I understand that like we become used to these stats where it's like 0 catches, 0 yards, lockdown corner. Like guys, when you have a great cornerback, it doesn't matter if you got Jalen Ramsey in his prime. Like you're going to get beat
QB.
Right,
QB.
Exactly. So you're playing against Devontae Adams. Yeah, you're going to get beat here and there. But I think overall, I think Q's been pretty good. I do. I think he's been in the ballpark. I think he's clearly good enough to hang with most teams' best receivers. There's been a couple plays that, they've left on the table where Q got beat, but they didn't capitalize on it. But I think overall, he's been good, man. I think he's been good.
Well, how do you think Cooper's played?
Good. I mean, I don't think he's sticking out like a sore thumb, good or bad, if that makes sense. I think he's solid. I think he got beat on that one play today to Nacua, but gosh, is Nacua hard to stay with, dude. I mean,
he catches everything. Don't you think that?
I know. And even on that